All right, one of our favorites around here on this show is Battlefield Bad Company, and Battlefield Bad Company 2 has a brand new co-op mode coming out called Onslaught mode, and joining me is Lars Gustavsson, who's the senior designer. Lars, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Sun is shining in Sweden and life's good.
Well, that's and not only that, but Onslaught mode is on the way. If it's not out now, it's going to be out very, very soon. Tell us, as I said earlier, we're big fans on this show of Battlefield Bad Company 2. I mean, we have spent countless hours in it. Tell us what Onslaught mode is all about.
Onslaught, or is, what should I say? It is filling a gap between those who play single player and enjoy that experience and don't really dare to take that move out to play multiplayer game. Or those people out there playing multiplayer and feel that they could miss the experience of kind of teaming up and fighting against someone who's not player driven. Just team up and try to beat the best possible time of kind of your friends and people out there on the internet.
So let's be clear. I mean, Onslaught mode, it's going to be available directly from the marketplace for 800 points. Now, this is for people, your friends, obviously, or maybe not your friends, I don't know. But it's you against the AI, is that correct?
That's correct. It's up to 4 players, and you can play it either as a private server or public server, peer-to-peer solution. So it's only for you to start it up and go at it.
And what kind of maps, or what are some of the objectives, and what kind of some of the maps we're going to be playing on?
So we have picked some of the goodies from Bad Company 2 and done a pass of lighting, setting, everything. So you will be revisiting Valparaiso, Isla Inocente, Nelson Bay, or some of the goodies, and it's quite a different experience. It's for me, having played Battlefield since Coleman Eagle, I was about to say, since the first 1942 and been part of the franchise, it's always something special when you team up and, tune up difficulty, turn it up on the hardest and just go at it and see how far you and your friends can kind of hang together. It's a nice challenge.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing we noticed when we were playing, when my podcast mates and I were playing, in the regular version, which is just you against, you and a team of other folks against a team of other folks. But now it's completely different going up against the AI. What is some of the work that you had to do? Did you bring in some of the artificial intelligence from the game, or how did you create these, some of the AI that we're going to be going up against in Onslaught mode?
Well, we went through quite an interesting kind of process when we went at it. The initial thoughts were, this is going to be based around the single-player experience, Think single-player, put people in there, play together, and beat the enemies. But as we went on, and we actually managed to get up a playable version quite quickly, and as we saw people playing, we could do all the tweaks and tunes we wanted to do. But every time we monitored the tests, we realized that all our thoughts on single-player weapon setup, single-player approach was kind of totally contradicting to what they expected. As soon as they played with friends and had been playing on the internet a lot, playing multiplayer, we realized that kind of the core controls, the core setup of the kits, what they've learned for endless hours of multiplayer gameplay was so deeply rooted in the back of their spine that they instantly fell back to that kind of multiplayer setup. So we decided to do a 180 and actually tweak and tune the game around multiplayer core gameplay experience, and that turned out very, very well.
Now, Lars, part of the Battlefield Bad Company 2 experience is, at least in the multiplayer, is leveling up and getting access to cooler and better weapons and vehicle capabilities. Tell me, how does that translate into Onslaught mode?
So the way we tweak and tune Onslaught mode, since we give you the private service, we give you the public service, what we've done is we wanted to focus on giving you a cool experience, the possibility to play together we hand out achievements for doing this, but we separate it from your usual persistence tree. So what we do is actually, when you start playing, we check out how you progressed within multiplayer and give you the most of your unlocks accordingly. So it's definitely worth going at it in multiplayer and bring back your goodies into co-op experience. And then we take the output from those sessions and put up on all the new leaderboards created for Onslaught mode. So we track per level and per difficulty level.
Tell us give us a little peek inside the DICE team and what led you to Onslaught mode. I mean, was it a lot of what the community was saying? I know that DICE is really connected with the community, but tell us some of the thought, some of the what went on to saying, this would be a great idea.
I think we all through the years have kind of we kept an eye on the co-op experience and wanted to go there, but it's always been, to be honest, delivering a solid single-player and multiplayer experience in itself is quite a challenge. And trust me, I've been at it a couple of times, and it can be a killer just to get the game together, just doing those two things. So we didn't really want to stress it and risk the core experience in Bad Company 2. We'd rather take our time and do it post-launch. And what we hear and what we've heard from the community through the years is some people remember, for example, 1942, where people teamed up against the AI, and during those days you can actually turn up the slider and have a true onslaught where you, a few buddies, got attacked by God knows how many AI enemies, and that was kind of the spiritual start where we all wanted to kind of center around that experience and take it from there.
Right.
And then as we went at it, we tweaked and tuned, so there's always, as someone said while creating Bad Company 2, you can do as many design documents as you want to, but somewhere there's a factor of the paper awesome. It sounds good on paper, but when you implement it, it's kind of, lame. So in the end, we did daily playtesting. We were around 200-250 people in the office and just brought in new fresh eyes every day. Let them play, monitor, and do the adjustments. So I think that took us to a very good end result.
Yeah, it's certainly, like I say, like we started the conversation, we've been playing a lot of it around here, and we're looking forward to playing Onslaught mode. It's when you look at what the community has said, tell me what some of the things that surprised, some of the feedback that you got from the community regarding Battlefield Bad Company 2, either the single or the multiplayer, and how you guys roll that into product planning.
I think that, it's always, by the time Battlefield has been out now for quite some time, and all the whole franchise and experience, memories, they're all kind of mixed together nowadays into a kind of roar from the community, which is, it's always very hard to see where should we go next, what should we focus on. And what's interesting with Bad Company 2 is I think that the team really managed to hit spot on, where gathering a lot of the experience from the franchise and really tune it to the 11th degree, so that the run and gun, the spawn on squad, no unnecessary waiting. It was all a very well-oiled and kind of smooth machinery. And at the same time, single player, with Bad Company 1, we just clearly tell that we were like a toddler learning to walk for the first time doing the single player on that scale. And already when we were done with that project, I worked as the lead designer there, and we had gained so much experience that everyone was so kind of eager to go at it again. I think that shines through in the Bad Company 2 single player experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's a ton of fun, and then it's unfortunately a lot of people go through it and they don't really go back and play it again because they want to get right online to play the multiplayer, because you guys have such a wonderful multiplayer experience.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not sure whether I should say good or bad about that, as long as they keep on playing Bad Company. But it is true that there's a lot of depth, there's a lot of possibilities of replaying, getting your achievements, and trying to go at it in different ways. But I guess multiplayer and the whole Battlefield franchise is kind of known for its long tail.
Right.
I know there's still people out there playing 1942, and Battlefield 2 still have a big community, and it's so great to see how the Bad Company 2 community is just kind of keeping on growing.
Well, let's also not forget 1943, the arcade game, which is still burning up the charts on the Xbox Live Arcade side.
Oh yeah. That was. I think that's amazing to be part of a company where people constantly manage to surprise you even when you're in the company.
Yeah.
I mean, having been with the franchise for a long time, working as creative director, looking at the different products and seeing kind of in what direction we want to steer them, and then having people totally blow your socks off, going off in a direction that they truly believe in, managing to defend their design kind of decisions, and then succeed in such a way. It makes you proud to be part of that company.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Lars, to talk to us about the Onslaught mode coming out for Battlefield Bad Company 2. If it's not out by the time you hear this voice, it'll be out very soon. Our voices. One more time. I know it's 800 points. Do you guys have any? Do you have any new achievements in there?
Yes, we do. Do you want me to talk about?
Can you tell me a little bit about them? Because that's what everyone wants to know.
There are a number of achievements in there, so I'm not sure if I should go in exactly to what they are, but there is a bunch there to ensure that you go through it and go at it, and definitely team up, tune your skills and go at it, since some of them will be challenging to get, but at the same time very much rewarding once you get there. So it's that balance between getting to know the game and then getting to master the game.
Got it.
Yes, we're all suckers for those achievements, are we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody loves the achievements.
Yep.
Anyway, well, listen, I'm going to let Lars. I appreciate you taking the time to tell us about Onslaught mode, and I'll be sure I'll post a note on my Twitter and on my blog when it's available. And thanks for all the great work you do on Battlefield Bad Company.
Thank you so much.